know, and we can't look past them because of those results. Those results tend to boost competitors and their competitors, and this is a big intra-state match. And regardless of where the rankings are or head-to-head matchups, we got to be ready.
Who's the guy at 49? Who's going to be the guy?
We don't know. We have 4 options there in our mind. We're getting it down to 2, and then we'll send 2 of the 4 to a tournament down south of here. You know, right now its growth is Kelly, probably the front runners. And, you know, we could throw Jeva in there. He's an option, even though he'd be a 41-pound weigh-in. But, you know, there's a lot of progress being made there in here that people don't necessarily see. I don't think it makes it any clearer who the guy is, though.
About 74.
74 is Cambrel right now, and Evans will dress and weigh in, and we'll see what happens there. That's a situation where they haven't been head-to-head, and we're looking for a guy to emerge there. I think the Virginia meet is not an indication of what Cambrel is capable of, but it's kind of like he in the same mold a little bit. I was going to say mode. I ended up saying mold. It could be either word there. And we want him to emerge from that. And he looks better in the room. Maybe more of a spark to be offensive and aggressive and score points. But it's got to translate, too.
Do you envision Mike being at 74 going forward?
Right now we do. I think the biggest thing with the situation him moving up was he went down too fast, and it affected his body in a lot of different ways, not just the nutrition and the way he cut his weight. And he's grown, too, from last year. So he's going to have to be more disciplined. It's going to have to be more of a process that's disciplined process. And it wasn't that disciplined, it affected him, so for the time being. Although I'll say right now, Nick Moore, we like his capability. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could get what I think their capabilities are, get that to translate into their performance when it counts? Wouldn't that be a good way to lay a magic wand on them? Zing. Fortunately, it's that easy if it's in their mind. It's not that easy for me to wave a wand or a coaching staff, but it is that easy for them to grab the bull by the horn. So Nick Moore has an opportunity.
Do you ever remember this duel not being televised?
No, I don't, and I don't know if that's final yet.
I think it'll be on Iowa Public Television.
I know they're working on it in the late stages, and partially the problem is the Big Ten network. People, I think, assume, these other production companies assume that the Big Ten's going to pick it up. That's how I look at it. So when they realize, and they're doing their homework or whatever, and they realize it's not going to be on the Big Ten network, then they kind of run in at the last minute. That's kind of how I interpret what's going on here. I don't think it's an indication of, you know, how maybe the significance of the duel has gone down, although, you know, obviously when it was, you know, 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 or whatever, you know, that obviously makes people's attention come to the location of the dual meet a lot more.
So you don't think the status of the 2 programs take away from the luster of the rivalry at this point?
Yeah, I do. I do think that. I think that is absolutely something that needs to be worked on. I mean, we're number 4 ranked or whatever, and they're out of the top 25, and I think that does impact. You don't have the number 1 team in America, nor do you have 2 high-ranked opponents where, you know, maybe from the outside looking in, the experts maybe don't see it as a top-billed event. But we don't look at it that way, and regardless of who your opponent is, regardless of, you know, what it looks like on paper or rankings, etc., we have to get ready to wrestle, regardless if it's on TV or not.